Hey guys, Xenom Deluxe Gaming here. Today we're going to be discussing the sad story or tragedy of the Garden Warfare series. You could call this a review just of like each game, or you could call it a timeline. I'm going to add it to both playlists, my review and timeline video. So let's get into it. As you know, Battle for Neighborville isn't the greatest thing ever, and I'm going to be talking about the events leading up to that and what happened. So it all started with the Plants vs Zombies 2 game for the iPad. I'm not playing it right now, where it's the sequels to the classic arcade PvZ1, and what they're doing in it was just adding more characters. They weren't making new maps because they probably weren't bothered, so they've made the final map, so what could they do next? Another game? They couldn't just go and do PvZ3, because then things would start getting repetitive. They'd make PvZ 4, 5, 6, and then there'd be no fun in that, because they'd just be making more PvZ games. They wanted to make something different, and I'm not sure how they came up with the idea of this free roaming battle royale kind of thing, but yeah, they did, and they made it, and it was a huge success. No one had like much problems with it. Why am I always got bad grammar in these videos? Anyways, no one had a problem with it, besides the fact that it's a bit repetitive. You're just getting more and more cosmetics like Overwatch or something, and not actually something brand new, but it did get regular updates and it was fun. It led to a sequel, and what the sequel tried to do was it tried to be everything the first one was not, as like the first one was kind of a test, and if it was successful they went with this, and it had all the features that the fans wanted, like a free explore lobby, evading kind of system, and things were even better. It got new customization, classes. It was real hyped up, and it was exactly what everyone expected. It got major updates. It could have been something super amazing, and for a period of time it was. And then the day came. It stopped getting updates. It got slower and slower, and usually we know that it's a sign of a sequel or a big update or something, but for some reason people didn't acknowledge that. They thought it was truly the end, and channels who had dedicated their channels to playing this game and this series started getting desperate, and this caused the downfalls of many channels, and people didn't like this, and then they announced it. Actually, it wasn't like properly announced, but the third game in the series, how it worked was there started being leaks, definitely of people working on the game, and stupidly they changed their channel icons before the announcement even happened, so we all knew there was a big game, and it was hyped up loads and loads. Then loads of trailers came, and everyone was excited, and you could literally find the trailers everywhere. And the main thing that people were excited for is it not because of new features or anything, it was actually because it was finally for something new. They weren't excited because of new story modes or new whatever. They were excited because it was something new, and they were thought PopCap thought they were excited for everything new, but they were not everything new, but excited for all their new features. But they were just excited for Plants vs Zombies content after about 3 or double that years of nothing. And here's how the events went down when people first logged in. Upon being greeted, they are this person here says a bunch of stuff you can do. Not a bunch of stuff, but says go over there and then learn about that. So I expect one of the first things people do is they immediately go over to maybe this one here and get their first daily reward. They don't know it's a daily reward, they think it's just a reward kind of welcome to the game thing. Next, I mean, I don't know the order people would go in, but I'm gonna leave the most excited one for last. Just bear with me. Then they learn about this, and then they like how, and this is how you get your rewards. And they're a bit disappointed about there's no packets anymore, but at least they don't get given the choice of a new character or a new ability. They can just go straight forward and do this, unaware that there wouldn't be any abilities in there. Next thing they probably get their butt over to is this over here. I mean, it's a good way to practice, and usually this is a really good thing. People wanted it last time to see how powerful their moves are, but majority of people didn't really care. Then one of the worst parts was the XP machine. This was the first signs of EA starting to show you could just pay your coins to just go farther in the game, and people like, unlike other EA games, you could earn coins normally, but you could buy coins with in-app purchases, and the amount of coins you needed to advance so little in the XP machine were like unreal, so they wanted you to properly buy it. That's the first signs of EA starting to show, but it wasn't as bad because you could earn coins normally. The second one was the changing booth. People recognize this straight away. Go into it to check out the new classes. They probably switched to like Acorn, or one of the new characters. I'm just gonna go with Mushroom. Also, they may have switched teams if they were a zombie person. Hey, look, the wizard's over here. Sis, how do you even get him? No, you need to pay for him. Anyways, but that we haven't got on. He's in late newer, that one we haven't got on to newer yet. So when they'd switch teams, they discovered that they can't do anything. They have to do the plants tutorial. So they would probably go back in after having a look around. So they go back in, go back to plants, and then the major thing was that I was saving till last is the new lobby map. And people were like, why choose a circus? That's strange. But how are they going to change anything? And really, actually, I'm not going to go down to that yet. So they go down, all cool. They're trying to do some kind of battle royale feeling. Immediately questions what this is, but I'm pretty sure we all know what that does by now. Anyways, go around, battle some enemies, and all the enemies are the same. How strange. I don't know why they did that. They could, but it's because they want you to, I think this is part of something, but how it worked was they went on, discovered there weren't many enemies, and to play with different enemies, you had to be online where you play with other people who could choose their own characters, therefore different enemies. But to do that on PS4, you needed PS Plus, so there was something going on there to make it so you needed to pay to battle other characters on the Battle Royale map. And that isn't EA, that's mostly PS4 and PS Plus. But anyways, they want first thing, why do I keep on saying first thing and stuff like that? That's probably really annoying for you. A thing people would do would immediately want to go to the zombie base to invade it because they thought it'd be really cool. And then they go all the way over. And oh, what's this? it's a barrier. They want to raid it. But they have got solution for that in story mode and maps and stuff, but that's later. Looking at all that, they are commanded to return back to the flower, and that's when they unlock story mode. Now, sometimes people would go switch teams and now do stuff or something, or sometimes they go visit Mount Steep or something, but really the only place, I'm going to look at it from an early access perspective. If you're a part of early access, which I was, they would have to go to town centre, and that's because the other ones aren't out. Nothing bad about that there. So they come here and see everything and they'd be like, oh wow, this is really good, big free explore story mode. But a bunch of features that the Garden Warfare 2 lobby had were in the story mode map, and a bunch of features at the Battle for Neighborville lobby map. The point is, people didn't like the Battle for Neighborville map because it wasn't like Garden Warfare 2. You couldn't raid, you couldn't do missions around the place. However, in this, you could. And this is everything the Garden Warfare 2 lobby had, except for like all the stuff that the Battle for Neighborville lobby had. Like, it sounds really confusing, but the point is, if they made this story mode map, the lobby, then there'd be online lobby, and that would be so fun because then you could raid online, and raiding is everything I like. And people were just fine, calm down, it was only early access, and when the official version released, things got worse. Emporium, instead of becoming like a special reward for people who built up coins to get like a big new thing, it turned into this Fortnite, like, you know, in Fortnite where you have to buy everything in the item shop, and people are fine with that because they don't give any advantages. That it's fine, everyone's used to it. But with Rux's, they did the exact same thing where you had to buy stuff, and they thought they'd get a lot of money out of it, like Epic Games. But no, it did the opposite effect, and now everyone hates it. And then just imagine this place isn't here. The PopCap community, the creators saw this and they wanted to do a big change. So the Halloween update came along. I'm sorry I keep on going and swallowing my saliva. That sounds really disgusting. I don't usually do it. I'm only doing it because I'm just talking and talking and talking and talking. Anyways, in the Halloween update, everything became Halloweeny. They added some new maps. People were happy about this brand new map. But the brand new map was kind of just the first map that came out. So it just felt a bit lazy and rushed. Along with this came the prize bulb system, which is literally just a battle pass. Yes, literally just a battle pass, that's nothing more. But it's better than the battle pass because you can choose like multiple options, and it's just actually a bit cool and stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but it was so grindy. I'm not sure, can you buy, where is it? Can you buy prize bulbs? Characters. Look at this. You have to buy. Look, you have to buy the abilities and advantages. At least the wizard cost coins. Anyways, as you can see, the main thing is EA have taken over now. They had so many stuff that, like, so many companies, and they had a big downfall where like everything became bad. But then they had an up, like they got better with their sequels. But now they're making sequels to those sequels, which are just going down full with in-app purchases. And everyone's done a video on the in-app purchase stuff for right now, so I'm not going to go into that. But as you can see, Battle for Neighborville of the Disappointment, and people would probably just go back to Garden Warfare 2, but it doesn't have any updates, therefore now boring, so nobody likes it, and the Garden Warfare franchise dead. Well, the Plants vs Zombies franchise isn't dead, at least they got PvP3, well that's on an iPad. So yeah, the prize corner here is just a battle pass system, but it's super grindy because they just want you to play it more. And the Rocks is important now sells abilities, so you have to pay for abilities and stuff, and it's also stupid. EA are doing this to all of their games where they're bad, then they get redempted, blah blah blah, whatever, and then they become good. And then now they're making them bad again because they want money. Because all the games that are good, that are made by EA, are the ones that aren't actually made by EA and are just made by other companies that are owned by EA. And EA's own games that they properly own, like FIFA, are really bad and they want money, so they just take it out of other games, making them bad, to try and make their games good. And they could be good, then they make them in-app purchases. It's the cycle of life, the cycle of EA. EA makes a bad game. One of EA's child companies makes a game that's really bad because of EA. So then that company forgets about EA and makes a sequel. EA sees the money that they're making, and then just steals some money out of it, making that sequel bad, and puts money into their own game to make it good. Then they put in-app purchases into the game that make it bad again. And then they need more money, therefore look at another child company. And eventually they're going to run out of child companies, therefore are going to have their downfall. So don't worry, EA are going to die eventually.